Hey guys, how are you doing? It's cryptocurrencies UK here, bringing you back another XRP video. I'm going to jump right into this because I posted out on Twitter that I'd found something and I want to show you guys exactly what I found. I know it's all doom and gloom in the crypto space right now. That's something I've dived into quite deeply in this week's newsletter that's coming out on Sunday. However, without further ado, let me just get into exactly what I'm seeing. So in the background here, what you can see is, if you're familiar with the XRP chart, which I'm sure you probably are right now, is the XRP chart. But then what's actually interesting is something that happened a little while ago. So this chart below here is actually the Bitcoin chart. This is taken from 2017 to the 2021 breakout. And I just want to talk about how very similar these charts are. And then I want to talk about what potentially could happen next for XRP. So this is just a fractal pattern being overlaid. I've copied and pasted the bars pattern from the Bitcoin chart, as I said. And let's just get into why and how they're similar. Before we get into all of it, I just want to say I have stretched this chart a little bit. So the exact timings aren't the same, but the structure itself is the thing that I want to be talking about. So to start with, obviously, if we just line up these highs, Bitcoin obviously created an all-time high. This was actually the same high as, this is actually the 2017 high for Bitcoin, the same high as it is there for XRP. We fell out of this high, we came all the way down, created a low, and we bounced and created a bit of a retracement bounce, dead cat bounce, and then continued to come down into years and years of consolidation. If we look at what happened with XRP, so this is the area that I'm talking about here, boom, that is this area here. So we had the same sort of thing. So we came down, obviously Bitcoin bounced, hit 702, boom, came all the way down. For XRP, we had a little bounce in here. We came down, hit the low, a little bounce, came down, another little bounce here, another slightly lower high. That's exactly what happened here. Bang, lower high, then came down, and even this structure here is pretty similar. Look, consolidation to the downside, little bounce, consolidation to the downside, little bounce, and then just continued consolidation, drawn out consolidation for a long period of time. Capitulation to form the low, capitulation to form the low, accumulation, and starting to push up here. If we get to this area, we're looking at this area here right now. We then have a little bounce, push up, come back down, and accumulate again. And let's zoom into where that is. That's where the SEC obviously stepped in with the lawsuit. So similar thing for Bitcoin. We bounced into, we had a little bounce, couldn't break anything, came down, accumulated again, pushed up higher. Then this is where it gets interesting as well. On this push up, we didn't actually manage to set any higher highs, although we did break the previous swing high before the downtrend continued for Bitcoin, and the same here for XRP. So I'm talking about this, we did break this high here, and I'm talking about the same here for XRP. This is when we rallied up to our 195 sort of area, and we broke the bounces that we saw after the all-time high. Very, very similar structure there to what Bitcoin has as well. After that, we came down, and then we bounced, and then continued the downtrend, which is what happened. We came down, so we came down here for Bitcoin, we bounced, and then continued down, a little bounce, and further down. So we came down, we bounced, didn't set any new all-time highs, continued, had a little bounce back up, and then continued further down into capitulation, which is what I would consider would be this sort of area and this sort of area before a bounce and continued consolidation. And after that, and then now we have actually accumulated for a lot longer here than Bitcoin seemed to do in this time period. However, something I thought was interesting is we then, out of nowhere for Bitcoin, had a spike. We held a level for a little bit and then just capitulated out of that level. And then XRP, consolidating or accumulating, boom, spike, and then capitulation down to exactly where we were before. So spike, capitulation down to where we were before, slightly higher, holding just above where we were before, which is exactly what XRP was doing, just above where we broke out. And then actually we went on to rally for Bitcoin. So let's have a look. If we then overlay this chart in terms of price, this is where it becomes a bit speculative, but I'm showing you the structure there, and now I'm going to show you price. if we just put the all-time high of Bitcoin on the all-time high of XRP, so this is the Bitcoin all-time high from 2017, even the bounces are kind of similar. We don't quite go as deep, but the bounces are pretty similar, and even here the bounces are quite similar as well. And something that's very interesting, obviously, if we put this, overlay this, is the first area of like big resistance that we see, if we do manage to follow a fractal like this, it would be awesome, obviously, is around the all-time highs. So that's something that really interested me when I did overlay this in price. When I was first looking at it, I was just looking at it from a structural standpoint, and I thought, cool, the structures are very similar. That's super interesting. The next thing that's interesting to me is the price. So the first area of resistance that we find is right here at all-time highs. The next little area of resistance is around $5, a nice little whole number there. And then the thing that really interests me is, you guys know, I'm mostly out of the market, like 65% out of my XRP by between $10 to $13. And this is something that I found really interesting, is that up here at 1170, so between the $10 and the $13 range, is where we see our first substantial resistance there. And then we have a nice bounce all the way back down to like $7 sort of dollars. And although that doesn't sound like much, and when you look at this chart, it doesn't look like much at all, that's a nice 40% retracement after a big long push up. Which could come for XRP. So I thought that was also very interesting, right into my price targets. It then accumulates again and pushes on higher for $20, comes all the way down to $7 over a long period and pushes back up to $21 as a high, and then comes back down, and we'll go into a prolonged bear market if we were going to follow the Bitcoin structure. So that is definitely something that I think you guys might want to see at a time like this. And the last little thing, just to touch on, is XRP is actually battling against the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame. We're just touching it now as resistance. We're struggling to get underneath it, but when we've broken above it in the past, it has actually been a catalyst for a potential move. Could that be coming now, and could we be following that Bitcoin structure that I've just been talking about? That's what I'm looking for. So let's keep our eyes on for something like that to happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed, please like, share, and comment below. Do you think I'm being moon boy here, or do you think that I actually could be onto something? I'd appreciate your comments. Peace.